this on my phone with this tripod. The microphone of my AirPod is the microphone, so if you're wondering why I'm wearing an AirPod, it's because of that. And when you walk by, just try not to bump it. That way people who can't make it tonight on YouTube and stuff can go to it. My name is Alex Landry. I am the guy. Yay!
We'll bump this one.
Oh man.
It's great. It's amazing.
It is.
So supportive here.
All right, so this is it's not only a club, a nature club on the North Shore. I also want to focus on that it's a club about the North Shore. So I think it's great here. I grew up not thinking that, but as I've grown older, I've come to really love St. Tammany, the North Shore. Bought a house here. I've got some roots down. And so this is a club also about how great the North Shore is. But before I go into some more of that, I want to talk about myself for a minute. So I love doing that. I just got hired at Canoe Trail Adventures to do bird guides, ideally in Fontainebleau, Vita Creek, different areas around here. I'm a master naturalist. I've never, I don't have any like science training. I don't have any science degrees. You know, I'm a high school dropout with an associates in general studies from Delgado. So I'm never the most smartest person in the room, as evidenced by the way I just worded that. I've been here, the North Shore, since 1995. I can remember when we had a Dairy Queen and a Del Champs in Save Center. And some other fun facts that will be important later, or a little more relevant, is I've had cancer twice and I'm 6 years sober. So I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've had cancer twice in my 20s. And that is enough about me. So Louisiana, we have, there's a pointer, nice. So we are right here, as you know, and this map is an ecoregion map of Louisiana. You go to EPA.gov, you can find it. It's got all the different ecoregions, all the different habitats. You can see that the Atchafalaya Basin right here, you know, driving Lafayette over that long bridge. Separated a lot by what's here in Baton Rouge. The significance of this map is that within 1 hour of Vanderbilt, we've got 10 different ecoregions. So that, without context, that doesn't sound that great, or that doesn't mean anything without, you know, being in context. So how does that stack up to other regions? Well, within 45 miles of Denver, you have 8 ecoregions. And then you go down the list. I kind of cherry pick these numbers a little bit because I'm allowed to do that. It's my presentation after all. But I just want to hammer home the fact that Southeast Louisiana, it's ecologically, it's very diverse. You know, I grew up here thinking that it's like Fontainebleau and that's it. But you know, parts of Lacombe have more in common with Grand Isle than with Covington, and that's crazy to me, at least. You know, so we really do live in a great place if you're willing to just see it that way. You know, we don't have the marketing of, you know, Rocky Mountains. We don't have big redwood forests. But what we do have over here at Cat Island National Wildlife Refuge is the largest tree east of the Sierra Nevadas. It's called the Champion Cypress over there at Cat Island. So we don't have redwoods, but we do have the largest tree east of the Sierra Nevadas. Let's see, we're not all urgent cares car washes. That was a joke. All right, so the mission statement, and I'm still kind of working on it, I think, because it doesn't explicitly mention accessibility or inclusivity, but the mission statement is to bring the natural world to the people. So we're going to meet people where they're at. Accessibility is really important to me. I have some chronic diseases from the cancer treatment I went through. I'm 32 years old and I have severe COPD, so I can run about 20 feet before I am winded. And there's two ways in which this mission statement will be enacted through the Northshore Nature Club. We have a social club, which is what we're doing right now, and then community support. So we'll get back to, we'll circle around the community support, but for now, we're going to talk about the social club. So this picture is taken from Grand Isle. I was hoping that Chris Anderson would be here because I could give her a shout out, but with her permission, we have this photo. Do y'all know what these pink birds are? I mean, I know some of y'all do, but it's not a flamingo. So it's a rosette spoonbill, which I did a dry run with this presentation with my parents last night, and my dad's like, he had no idea. My dad's 65, always lived down here. He had no idea that we had our own little version of Cajun flamingo, whatever you want to call it. But we do, we did have a flamingo down here in New Orleans last spring? No, last fall, after Hurricane Idalia. The hurricane, when it passed through the tropics, flamingos were being found as far north as Lake Michigan and Pennsylvania. Because hurricanes will do that. They'll displace birds and the birds slowly make their way home. In New Orleans, we had a flamingo for about 2 weeks. It was really cool. We got to go see it. But Chris Anderson, she takes a lot of really good pictures down here. She spends a lot of time in Grand Isle somehow, but she's great. So we're going to have monthly presentations. This month's presentation is about the presentations. So we've got that covered. By different experts in their field. By experts, I mean like professional hobbyists. Again, I have no formal biology training, but I know a lot about birds. I don't know everything about birds. Jane Patterson, she's in the back, she does. But first presentation, the next meeting is going to be about birds. And I'm hoping we'll be able to get a live bird. I've talked to Jennifer Colson with the Orleans Audubon Society, and she has a prior engagement. She has a great horned owl she's very generous with. But we won't be able to get that, at least not for the date we have planned. But bird watching that's my first love. That's what got me into it. I'll talk about my spark bird story at the next meeting, but I do want to plug, again, Jane Patterson's class. I posted a link on the Facebook group about birding basics, or beginning bird, I forget what it's called specifically, but I've taken it twice. She's the president of the Baton Rouge Audubon Society. And it's a great class. It's 4 consecutive Tuesdays in a row, and you will learn a lot. It's incredible. I've taken it twice. The second time I dragged my mom, and now my mom is a hardcore backyard bird watcher. She doesn't like to go out. She can't even use binoculars. They make her dizzy, she says. But when she got a pair of black-bellied whistling ducks at her feeder last month, she was stoked. This is a picture of a barred owl that I took. It's not that blurry in real life. But I took that at Neighborwoods, which is in the back of like Beaurivage and Mandeville. I don't know who's familiar with it, but anyway, other presentations. These are just some ideas. Like I know through the Baton Rouge Master Naturalist program, there's a guy named Brody who's really good at foraging, canoeing, kayaking, paddleboarding, reptiles, amphibians. There's some good resources for snakes specifically. The Louisiana Amphibian and Reptile Enthusiasts and LA Snake ID. Those are both Facebook pages, and it's a wealth of information. It's really good. Who can tell me, anybody know what kind of butterfly this is?
It's called fritillary.
Yeah, it's called fritillary. What's the significance of that?
They like passion vines.
What's that?
They like the passion vines.
That, yes. It's also the state butterfly of Louisiana. Did y'all know we have a state butterfly? I think it's pretty cool. So here, it's just some more topic nights. Like distance hiking. What I mean by that is 4 or 5 days overland. Like I've never done that. I don't even really tent camp all that much. I just like going outside. So this is a picture of a water spout I took like 2 weeks ago on Lake Pontchartrain, driving across the causeway, and that inspired me to put weather on here because weather seems like it can be boring, but I mean water spouts are cool. Did y'all know that they form from the water up?
No.
Yeah, isn't that cool? I think that's cool. Tornadoes go from the clouds down.
You're the only one brave enough to say it. Come on, you.
All right, so in addition to the monthly presentations, we're also going to have, of course, nature walks. Fontainebleau State Park, Big Branch National Wildlife Refuge, which is in Lacombe. I mean, you can literally just park on the side of the road and walk into the forest. It's incredible, This time of year, it's not that great. It's really hot. There's bugs. But these are just a few locations to do the bird walks. Down here, we have just some locations that could be cool to do like group tours. The Lake Pontchartrain Basin Museum is in Madisonville. Very underrated. I went there for a wedding party like a month ago for the first time, and it was great. New Canal Lighthouse is in Metairie, and then we have a couple of animal sanctuaries around here, which I don't know if probably too many people to do a tour, but maybe they could come out. Recycling facilities, and when it comes to the nature walks and stuff, part of the mission statement is to bring the natural world to all people. I want to have nature walks that are led by LGBT, by queer people, by people of color, because they're underrepresented and pretty much everywhere, especially in the North Shore. But I want to give them a platform to really, show inclusivity and that the natural world is for everybody. It's all ours. We just have to go out there, Oh, otter. This is another picture that Chris Anderson took. This is an otter taken in Bayou Lacombe, which is only 23 minutes away. So we have you have access to wild otters that are closer than the ones in the aquarium. Granted, you're not going to see them every time you go out, but when you do, I promise you, it's incredible. Seeing wild otters, I've seen a family of 5 before, just doing their thing. It's incredible. But you don't have to go across the lake. You just go to down Lake Road. Has anybody not been down Lake Road, Lacombe? Few people? Okay, yeah, probably more than that, I don't want to say it, but Lake Road is incredible. Tons of wildlife. I've seen a black vulture right off the side of the road eating a deer carcass. I don't know how a deer carcass got there, but seeing a vulture that close it's crazy. It's a huge bird. And then a little bit of lanyap. I have an idea for like something similar to painting with a twist, except we make bird feeders. Sounds kind of fun. Have some sort of like maker's market / deer resale. My friend Rose was supposed to be here with the plant, but she couldn't make it. But she sells succulents and she does plants. And I do. I've got some photography that I sell. I'm sure we could do something. Have 10 tints anyway, and something with recycling. So at Rouse's, I noticed just the other day that they have like a grocery bag recycling bin. You can which I think is cool. I want to talk to them, make sure it's legit, and then maybe every month when we have a meeting, whoever brings the most plastic bags gets a $20 gift card to Massey's. Something like that would be fun. Speaking of gift card to Massey's, let's do a drawing. Who's got the tickets? Pull one, Val. Wait! Before you announce it, we have.
Everybody get a ticket. There's some people outside the door. Double check.
So we have a National Geographic Birding Basics course. I just realized Ashley brought this. I don't know where Ashley is. Ashley's right there. It's written by Noah Stricker, who was the big year champion in 2015. So in the year 2015, the guy that wrote this book saw more species of birds than anybody else in the world that year. I don't know the number. Do you know the number?
It was 8,000.
8,000. This dude saw 8,000 birds, different species in 1 year. There's 10,000 species in the world. So this dude saw almost all of them. We have this, and then we also have a Massey's shirt and a free kayak rental. So if your ticket is pulled, you can get one of these. Do you want to pull one, Val?
Matt pulled it.
Oh, I didn't pull it.
Oh.
Make sure everybody has it.
Everybody has a ticket?
Go.
6313967. All right, repeat. 6
You
3.
say like the last 3 digits.
Last 3 digits.
Yeah.
Okay. 967.
967.
Thank you.
967.
967.
All right. Pull that one.
Chad, check your people.
967.
The children have tickets, so.
Oh, do they?
And I'm 8, so I would bet one of them is.
I think it's one of your. Yeah.
Okay. Are they outside?
You can draw another winner.
There's a free
Okay.
kayak, by the way.
I think we have a couple.
I think we got it. All right. Last 3. 965.
Nice.
Take them back.
965.
Oh my goodness, you made it that hard.
Going once. 965.
Do it again.
Twice. All right.
Quick.
Must be present to win.
The anticipation's killing me.
Last 3. 958.
Draw again.
958.
Wasn't that supposed to be in the drawing? What is this for?
954.
All right, we're wrapping up.
All right.
Rachel, you want the book or the shirt and kayak?
The
Okay,
shirt.
cool.
If you need to get size, we can switch it out straight by hand. It's a large.
Large shirt.
Alex, we doing both of them now?
No, not yet. We'll do the other one in a minute. Aw. So this lady, her name is Leslie, and she runs Wings of Hope, which is the animal rehab. It's me. Hey, yeah. So she's an incredible woman. She's rehabbed, thousands of birds. She doesn't take songbirds, so she just does big birds. This is her holding a pelican, like manhandling a pelican. Pelicans are huge, and she's like 5'2", and she's great. She's raptors, hawks, owls. I took this picture. The pelican's name is Nigel, and I actually got the pet throat pouch. It's very soft. Anyway, a little bit of lanyard, old lady pelican. So, moving on to the other avenue of our mission statement, which is community support. So we have the social club, which I've already spoken about, and then. So for the social club, we, all of us, are the people we are bringing the natural world to. And then for community support, anybody who might want help getting outside, that is who we are bringing the natural world to. So we're going to have seasonal efforts to, do litter abatement, remove invasive species. Invasive species being plants like Chinese privet, or Chinese tallow, privet. We're not going to be doing anything with nutria because they're too cute for me to do anything to. Plant irises, Louisiana Iris Conservation Initiative. They do, group plantings when it's time to plant them. And Coalition, CRCL, Coalition to Restore Coastal Louisiana, they'll do field trips out in the marshes. Usually get a free airboat ride out of it, and you plant some cypress trees or something. And Purple Morton Landlords. So this is me helping a lady named Birdie Owens. Is she here? Are you here, Birdie? She said she'd be here. Oh, hey. So this is Birdie Owens. She maintains how many Purple Morton houses? 8. So she maintains 8 Purple Martin houses in Defunct Estates, and that is they require a lot of work because you got to clean them out. The season's over. They're Purple Martins are the birds you see by the thousands on the lakefront at night right now because they roost over there. But at the end of the season, you got to clean them out. Birds are really, really messy. Fun fact: they can't control their buttholes, so they just poop whatever. So this is me back in January, helping her set them up, put a little bit of nesting material in there, make sure they're clean, snake-proof them because rat snakes can climb any distance they want. Put some guards on there to protect from hawks and owls. And anyway, now that the season is done, Birdie does need some help. I think I'm going to go over there on Monday. Monday?
I think so. It's
Yeah.
supposed to rain tomorrow.
Yeah. So Monday.
Four houses.
You got 4?
I have 4 done. I have 4 more to do.
Okay.
And those are going to be the worst, because those are the ones that have the most birds.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to do some Purple Martin house cleaning on Monday, it'll be messy, but Purple Martins, they've lost the instinctual ability to roost like in tree capitals. So they rely entirely on humans now to do it. And the people that host these Purple Martin colonies generally are older, so they really need somebody to pass the torch on to. So if anybody on Monday wants to come, holler. My information's in here at the end. So bring birds to the people. This is a program I was going to do with another nonprofit called Birdability, but it doesn't exactly match their mission. So distribute and maintain houses at bird house. It should say bird feeders, not bird houses. At inpatient facilities, retirement homes, assisted living, schools, stuff like that. I mentioned I'm sober. I spent about a week in rehab at River Oaks across the lake, and it's really boring. No one who's been to rehab, but it's really on the weekend. There's nothing to do, and you can't leave. So on the weekends, maybe go do a little bird watching 101. Walk around whatever courtyard they have. Give them a bird feeder to look at through the window. Same thing with old folks' homes. And on the lanyard slide, remember talking about building bird feeders. That's something we could do. We could build the bird feeders and bring them around different assisted living facilities. Hopefully we can find somebody that's willing to donate bird seed, because birds will eat every seed you give them plus 1. And then bird with people in these locations however we can. So they might just be looking through the window, that could be walking around a little courtyard. Maybe they have one oak tree that you can look at, but you can find cool birds anywhere. This was the last second edition, Team Up with Master Gardeners, Greater New Orleans, to plant native plants in these locations because the native plants will attract birds. And native plants really don't require as much maintenance. Anyway, that was just an idea I had. This is me tabling for Baton Rouge Audubon Society last fall at some kind of event. I'm wearing the same shirt. That's embarrassing. Anyway, this isn't so much nature, but after storms, we do day after yard cleanup. We're not going to remove a tree off of somebody's house, but somebody who a single mom or an old couple that lives down the street that they can't clean it up themselves, and maybe they're on a fixed income, they can't really pay anybody to do it either. There's people that fall through the gaps that their HOA is like, you need to clean your yard yesterday, but they have no physical ability, they have no financial ability. We could somehow get in touch with them and we can go do that. I've experienced, I was with Louisiana Conservation Corps this spring, and we did a lot of cleanup in Slidell after the hurricane. I know how to use a chainsaw, just so you know. It's supposed to be funny anyway. Conduct wellness checks. If remember after Ida, for those of y'all that evacuated, oh my God, is my house fine? Get in touch with us and maybe we could send somebody out there. Not quite Cajun Navy level of stuff, but be a part of their network so they could focus on the boats and things like that. So before I talk about the last part of community support, what are some accessibility challenges that y'all think somebody might face when it comes to bird watching or kayaking or something like that? It's audience interaction here.
Boats in general.
Boats in general.
Boats.
Boats.
And fishing.
Yes. They are. So accessibility is way more than than wheelchair ramps and the ADA Act of 1990 or whatever year it was. When it comes to kayaks, it's as simple as how do you transport it? You can be completely physically fine, but maybe you're a 4'10" person and you just cannot haul a kayak on top of your car. Maybe you don't have an SUV, maybe you just have a Honda Civic. So then there's public launch access. If you've never gone kayaking before, it's kind of nerve-wracking. You might not want to do it yourself. You don't feel safe. And with the bird watching, binoculars. Not only are they expensive, but they can be expensive. But there are so many different kinds. Which one do you get? Look at field guides. There's a million of them. Which one do you get? How do you use it? Using binoculars alone is the skill. It's not nearly as easy as you think. Or it is. It can be easy, let me say that. But my mom, no matter what she tries to do, she gets nauseous when she looks through binoculars, somebody who doesn't have full vision or maybe they're deaf, they can bird watch, they just need a little bit of help, or they could use a little bit of help. So those are just some challenges. Here I posted I got a picture of a Tuk Tek. It's a folding kayak, which I actually have one of these, and they're awesome. If anybody wants a kayak, you can fold up, put in the trunk of your Honda Civic. And this is just a little transfer bench. Somebody who's in a wheelchair, it's kind of hard to go from a wheelchair to the ground. So this little bench right here, you don't need a wheelchair, just if you have bad knees. We're all gonna have bad knees eventually. Some sooner than others. But anyway, so the buddy program. This is what I think, most excited about for the Northshore Nature Club. So it aims to increase accessibility in two ways, promote a sense of safety and to empower people who need a little bit of help to go outdoors. So the safety buddy, two types of buddies, safety buddy, that would be, you're a small woman and you don't want to go to Body Sauvage by yourself. That's a very reasonable fear to have, Buddy program, you contact us and we can send somebody with you who knows the area, or maybe you're afraid of snakes or insects, and you just haven't quite conquered that fear yet. Maybe your park you normally go to, there's an off-leash dog, and that dog scared the shit out of you last time you went. That's another reasonable fear to have. So the safety buddy's there to just give a sense of confidence and ease when going out. That way you can focus on the birds, you can focus on the mushrooms, you can focus on the plants, whatever you go outdoors to look at. You can do it with a sense of safety and community. And then the Empower Buddy is somebody who needs a little bit extra help to enjoy the outdoors. So think about somebody who has autism and they struggle being in large groups of people they don't know. You know, that could be overwhelming. They can contact us, and then we can do a more like one-on-one bird walk or bird outing with them. Steve Gleason calls us up. Hey, I want to go bird watching. I don't know how to do it. We figure it out. It's possible to go bird watching with somebody who can't use binoculars. They have a really fancy pair that just came out that you can live stream via Bluetooth what you're looking at to an iPad. So if you're bird watching with Steve Gleason, you can mount the iPad on his wheelchair, and then he can look at the iPad to see what you're seeing. Maybe somebody who, like I said, is deaf. They can't hear the prothonotary warbler calling behind them. They can call us up, and we can kind of help them point out, these things that they're missing. So there we go. Just kind of, rehashing this. We can't, there's as many unique obstacles to overcome as there are people in the world. Everybody has, and right now, if you don't have any, say you're retired, you love bird watching, and then your daughter has triplets. How are you going to bird watch with triplets? Call us up and we can help you with that. Tell you, we can recommend different parks that are amicable to use the stroller in. It's called just different life stages. And then all volunteer buddies to sign up and be a part of a buddy that we send out with people. Undergo background checks and fingerprinting with the sheriff's department. To do what we can to make sure they don't have any violent or sex crimes or anything like that on their records, and then also get certified in basic first aid and wilderness first aid. Wilderness first aid is taught, I think, once a quarter in Baton Rouge that I know of. It's probably, there are some classes in New Orleans too, I'm sure. But it's like $250, but ideally we'd be able to pay for the volunteer buddies. So how are we gonna do this? We are going to wing it. So I do want to get 501c3 status. I have spoken to an attorney, and that is far more involved than I had expected. If anybody knows anything about forming a 501c3 or dealing with the IRS or incorporating as a nonprofit in the state of Louisiana, I'd love to hear from you. Canoe Trail Adventures, I'm working with them. They're going to help with the startup costs of it. I just want to give them a shout out for that. Donations, which I don't want to take any now because it's not quite incorporated. I have the name reserved for the Secretary of State in Louisiana. That's as far as I've gotten, because the very next page, I had no idea. It's very lost. And the volunteers. Volunteers for what? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're going to wing it, So this picture I got off of Twitter by some guy, the Luigi guy. It's just a duck holding money because we're going to wing it. Anyway. So what we need is we need a logo, graphic designer. Talk to Kayla, we already volunteered for that, which is great. I don't know how to make a website, that's probably something we need to do. Topic suggestions, and then like I said, for the attorney CPA to assist in filing for the 501c3. I had wanted to have the Facebook page and the Instagram page set up by the time this meeting happened, but my day job kind of has been crazy for a few weeks. So I haven't quite got there, but this weekend I'm gonna make it. And what's next? So I decided today that we are going to have our first field trip, August 10th, 8 a.m. Baton Rouge State Park. I'll put this on the internets. I'm assuming we can go as a group. I don't really know. I know Canoe and Trail had to go through a process to be a tour guide company, but we're not a company. We're just a group of nerds. So I'll have some binoculars for loan. It's $3. Bring these things. The next meeting is going to be at Massey's Outfitters in Covington, and the store will be open, so you can buy things. You should definitely buy things, support it. I'm probably going to talk about birds unless there's a better idea, and I'm going to try to source a keg for cheap or for free. Yes, okay. And Massey said that they will donate snacks or something. Yeah. And then I'm also going to make a Google Calendar for all of the outdoor events. Unfortunately, a lot of the events, a lot of the stuff all of us would be interested in, they're on Facebook, and people definitely have phased out their use of Facebook. So I want to make a Google Calendar with all the events I find on Facebook. This Saturday there's a big Woodstock birdwatching event in Rama, Louisiana, in the middle of the Atchafalaya Basin, put on by LWWF. Just things like that that you really only can find on Facebook. And I made this slide, so it was like, oh, I'm gonna do all these resources, and then I just a bunch of acronyms that cracked me up. It made me think I was in the military again. But these are all like actual acronyms that, you know, I've used anyway. So this is what it is. Wait, there we go. So Louisiana Master National Association, Master Gardeners, Baton Rouge Audubon Society, CRCL, Prince Martin, yada yada. These three, Louisiana Amphibians and Reptile Enthusiasts, Louisiana Birds, and LA Snake ID. These are Facebook groups, and if you're in Facebook, I highly recommend you join them. They both have thousands of members, and they're an incredible source of information. And then Birding Louisiana over here just recently launched, and it divides the state into different regions. You click Southeast Louisiana, and there's just pretty much any nature-related thing you could think of is there. So even if you don't want to bird watch, it's a great place to find hiking locations. You know, and this past spring I spent a lot of time in Baton Rouge, and rec parks are incredible. I did not expect Baton Rouge city parks to be good, but they are pristine. They're incredible. So I don't think I'm forgetting anything. No, okay. So this is my Instagram. This is my phone number. And I'm gonna hang out tonight. You know, if y'all want to talk to me, I'm gonna wait till everybody gets, you know, a chance to talk to me. I've done things like this before. I'm bombarded at the end, but I'm nowhere to be tonight. Does anybody have any questions?
Hey, so I had somebody who had to leave early, but they were not on Facebook, and they wanted to leave their contact information to learn more about future meetings. So I'm passing around a Google spreadsheet right now. So if everybody wants to like put their name and contact info that you're comfortable giving, and also any comments or areas of interest.
Yeah, I meant to have a notebook for everybody to put their email down. So I'm gonna start that here too. So you can do that.
Just transfer and
Yeah. So let's start an email list, and then with the email list, I'll be able to also like send you the Google Calendar.
But yeah, she had a meeting, so I was like, hey, I'll just take your contact and pass it along. So I figured it'd be useful for everybody else in the same situation.
All right, we're gonna start. Just pass it around. Put your email, your name. My email is landry.alex@gmail.com. It's easy enough to remember. My Twitter is also Alex Landry because I made it in 2008. But I don't use Twitter. I just have that weird flex. That is my name.
It's not just Twitter anymore.
Email is ALX.
So that's my Instagram. So alx.landry. And my email is landry.alex.
It'd probably be a good idea to make an Northshore Nature Society Gmail.
Yeah, actually, I have that already.
Or a group chat.
Yeah.
Or a TikTok. I know.
Yeah, she went to that gig. I texted her and I was like,
There we go. Email.
Yeah.
Who else is into birds? So we got some other bird watchers here.
No one uses a cord on the
Birds? What's that?
I don't like large ones.
Why?
Oh, well, because I was having babies as a child. Never got over it. I never really liked it.
Well, large birds are great.
Specifically geese, no go.
Well, yeah, that's reasonable because geese are they can be kind of mean.
Not